We have already poked our fun at the new Prime Minister of Canada. It is no longer a secret or a controversial statement to say that the guy is the embodiment of lulz descended straight into the highest office of Canada. But what does this guy think when he's not into the because it's the current year mode? What is his worldview on diversity and multiculturalism? How is he envisioning these concepts in the real world? Let's explore. Hello everyone and welcome to the Freedom Alternative. Okay, so I found this 2-minute video with the Canadian version of Captain Sweden in which he speaks about diversity and multiculturalism. Let's watch.
When kids grow up in a schoolyard where people speak every different language, have every different background,
they learn that they have no identity, no culture, and nothing to relate to, thus making them more open to state control.
Where instead of looking at multiculturalism as a whole bunch of a mainstream culture, going to a school gym on a given day and going to different booths and sampling samosas here and then going over to see a Berber dance over here, and then we have instead an entire school celebrating Diwali, the Festival of Lights.
So it's not a multitude of identities then, it's the imposition of Hinduism upon everyone else?
Or looking up their Chinese horoscope.
And if you refuse, you're a racist.
Or talking about, how to support your friends going through Ramadan.
Hey, that's racist! Going through Ramadan as if it's a disease. Well, it is, but you're not supposed to talk like that, Mr. Trudeau. You should kick your privilege.
I mean, the range of experiences become the mainstream in Canada. And for me, that happens within our public schools. It happens within our education.
Interesting. Have you taken a look at the countries whose public schools outperform Canada? What do they all have in common? Well, they all happen to be very, very homogeneous for starters. There is no diversity in public schools of Shanghai, or in Finland, or in Estonia, or in South Korea. It just doesn't happen. Nobody wonders in Seoul on what policies should the schools have about misgendering or helping your friend go through Ramadan. And it's not because they're bigots, it's because they're there to do, school. But anyway, carry on, Mr. Trudeau.
And that is, for me, the answer when people say, oh, these folks aren't integrating into our value systems quick enough. For me, how we ensure that education gives people the tools to understand that you don't have to choose between the identity that your parents have and being a full citizen of Canada.
Really? Then can I whip girls into health on Easter Day? It's customary in Slovakia, and you wouldn't want to force people to choose, right? Oh wait, never mind. Slovaks are white, and Easter is a Christian holiday, so it's offensive anyway. But can I behead my son and his girlfriend for adultery? It's customary in Saudi Arabia, so can I identify as a Saudi and do it in Canada? I know the feminists didn't tell you, but in hardline Islamic theocracies, both adulterers are killed. Not just the female. Not that you would care, but just saying. But wait, Mr. Trudeau clarifies.
That yes, there are behaviors and attitudes that are different, that growing up a second-generation Muslim girl in Canada means you may have to have a difficult conversation with your parents about lipstick or about that Indian boy you're dating or whatever. But these are things that do not weaken the fabric of who you are and the society you belong to.
Really? I would argue that Zainab Shafia, Sahar Shafia, Geti Shafia, and Rona Amir Mohamed would probably disagree with Mr. Trudeau's assertion. But we cannot know for sure since they're dead following discussions about lipstick.
And it's not easy, and that's why you can't do it overnight. But that's where a diverse and open and inclusive education system and open circle of friends is what we have to work towards in our communities.
You see, the problem with people like Mr. Trudeau, who think of themselves as multiculturalists, is that they're not multiculturalists at all. In order to be a multiculturalist today, all you have to do is state your belief in vague and always poorly defined terms like diversity and inclusiveness, or some other similarly contrived nonsense. Back in my days, a multiculturalist was someone who spoke several languages and understood several cultures at a very deep level, in addition to having general knowledge about a plethora of cultures, big and small, around the world. If Mr. Trudeau had been a genuine multiculturalist and not just yet another cultural Marxist agitator, he would have known that asking Indian Muslims to celebrate Diwali is a terribly bad idea, especially if done by a secular government in a non-Hindu majority country. You know, it's like I would go to Nigeria and ask the whole school to celebrate the Orthodox Easter, with Easter eggs, Easter cake, and all that comes with Easter in this part of the world. I have this feeling that the Nigerians wouldn't appreciate the influx of diversity and progress, and would rather prefer their schools to remain, well, Nigerian. Multiculturalism can turn out well if and only if it happens organically. Many of the countries of Europe are traditionally multicultural and multi-ethnic, but, you know, when the Germans came here, they adapted to us. When the Finns went to Sweden, they adapted to Sweden. When the Ukrainians went to Poland, they adapted to Poland. That's how multiculturalism and multi-ethnicism can work. But that's not what Mr. Trudeau has in mind. He wants everyone to work towards having everything a salad. And you can call me an extremist all you want, but this can only mean one thing and one thing only. Canada must become less white and less Canadian. And I won't say less male as well, because being masculine is already a legally dangerous condition anyway in Canada. So, you know, progress on that front has been achieved already. Good luck, Canada. With such a leadership, you will going to need it. That's all I had to say. Thank you for watching.